What's up guys, my name is Nathan and I recently did a road trip around Phillip Island and I want to show you guys my favourite places. So here is my Phillip Island top 15. Phillip Island has to be one of the most beautiful regions in Australia. From gorgeous native wildlife to dramatic landscapes, Phillip Island has so much to offer. Let's start this video off at Forest Caves Beach. I've been seeing photos of this place for years now, so I finally decided to check it out. It's located about 2 hours south from Melbourne and it's a fairly easy and beautiful walk along the beach. When you reach the caves, you're going to be blown away by the beautiful red volcanic rocks which have been formed by the erosion of the cliffs over millions of years. During high tide, most of this beach is covered by water, so you can't really get too close to the caves. Luckily, I timed my visit just right so I could walk along the shore and safely enter one of the caves. Once I was inside, I could not believe my eyes and it honestly felt like I'd been transported to another world. Powerful waves have crashed into the rocks over time to create this incredible cave with a unique open ceiling. This is definitely one spot you won't want to miss. Another really cool spot just a few minutes nearby is the Koala Conservation Reserve. Located just 90 minutes from Melbourne, the Koala Conservation Reserve is a great place to get up close and personal with koalas in their natural habitat. Tickets to the reserve cost around $15 per adult and $7.50 for a child, but in my opinion, it's definitely worth it if you've never seen a koala before. The walk starts at the visitor centre where you can learn all about these beautiful marsupials before heading out to the boardwalks where you can spot koalas in the trees. I went here with my older brother and nephew and we had so much fun exploring the different areas and coming face to face with all sorts of koalas. I was surprised to learn that koalas can eat up to 1 kilogram of eucalyptus leaves per day. Because these leaves are so low in nutrients, it can take really long for it to digest, so koalas can sleep up to 18 hours a day, which is pretty wild to think about. So if you're ever in the area, you definitely need to check out this reserve. After the reserve, we're going to head across the road to Amazing Things theme park. Amazing Things is an award-winning theme park that is home to an exciting world of illusions, puzzles, mini golf, and this massive maze. Tickets are about $42 per adult and $28 per child, but there are different packages available if you're with your family. As we were traveling with my little nephew, we had so much fun exploring all the different puzzles and wandering through all the wacky rooms here. Me and my nephew spent a solid half an hour getting lost in this maze, and I think we were meant to be looking for some flags here, but we just had so much fun chasing each other around. After Amazing Things, we're going to check out the nearby Churchill Island. Located on the eastern side of the island, Churchill Island will be one of the first attractions you come across as you enter Phillip Island, and the tickets are only $15 for adults and $7.50 for children. Now there are countless beautiful farms in regional Victoria, but what I like most about Churchill Island is that it teaches you about some heritage farming activities. Every afternoon from 2 PM to 3 PM, visitors can have a go at some fun activities like whip cracking, cow milking, and sheep shearing. The farm is also home to some gorgeous Highland cattle and Cape Barren geese, which you will likely come across all over Phillip Island. After Churchill Island, we're going to head over to the middle of Phillip Island to visit the Grand Prix circuit. Once every year, Phillip Island is home to the Australian Motorcycle Grand Prix and the World Superbike Championship, which are both massive events here. Situated alongside the famous racing track sits a replica go-kart track with amazing views of the Bass Strait. Now I decided to strap on a GoPro and have a go at racing around the track, but I have to admit I absolutely sucked and kept crashing. The session costed me $40 for 10 minutes of driving, but I had a ton of fun cruising around the track and drifting around the bends. When I got back to the visitor centre, I stopped by the History of Motorcycle display to learn all about the sport and take in all the incredible memorabilia. After the Phillip Island go-karts, we are going to visit Rhyl Inlet. The Rhyl Inlet to Conservation Hill Nature Walk is just a short 2-hour trek located on the northern side of the island. Starting at the Rhyl Inlet car park, this walk will take you through rural farmland and coastal woodland until you come across this awesome lookout. Continue walking across the mangrove boardwalks to reach Conservation Hill for panoramic views of the wetlands and surrounding woodlands. This lookout is also super popular for birdwatchers as this area is a habitat for migrating birds including the short-tailed shearwater. I found it crazy to learn that these birds travel over 16,000 kilometers from Alaska to live and breed in the sandy burrows of Phillip Island. Next, we're going to stop by the iconic Phillip Island Chocolate Factory. Located right next to the entrance of Churchill Island, the Phillip Island Chocolate Factory is a must-see spot for families visiting the region. The tickets are $18 per adult and $12 per child, and kids under the age of 4 like my nephew can get in completely completely free with an adult. The exhibition started off with an educational display on cocoa production, and we were so impressed by the statue of David made completely with chocolate. We then made our way into the chocolate village, and my nephew had a ball watching the trains and eating all the chocolate samples on offer. Our favourite room was this mini arcade where you could test your skills and win these tokens which you could exchange for chocolate. There's also this massive chocolate waterfall and giant chocolate display which is perfect for taking selfies. Afterwards, we sat by the cafe and got served hot chocolates by this robot waiter, and my nephew absolutely loved it. If you're travelling with a family, make sure this is on your itinerary. After the Phillip Island Chocolate Factory, we're going to make our way back over the bridge to the daily pelican feeding. Located in the small town of San Remo on the gateway of Phillip Island, the San Remo Fishermen's Co-op feed the pelicans daily at 12 o'clock noon. The purpose of this daily pelican feeding is to help educate the public on their diet, lifestyle, and how we can protect these Aussie icons. This experience was completely free, and the guide was really funny and engaging, and I could not believe how many pelicans surrounded her. Afterwards, I walked across the road to Western Port Hotel to escape the rain and enjoy delicious lunch by the fire. Next, we're going to head over to the coast to go on a tour with Wildlife Coastal Cruises. Leaving Cowes Jetty daily, the Phillip Island Seal Cruise costs around $98 for adults and $68 for children, and takes you to visit Australia's largest breeding colony of fur seals. From the jetty, it takes about 1 hour to reach Seal Rocks, and the views of Phillip Island along the way are spectacular. Seal Rocks is home to more than 25,000 Australian fur seals, and it was so cool to watch them sunbaking on the rocks and flipping into the cool water. As the boat drifted close to the rocks, some of the seals actually approached the boat for a closer look and to wave hello. This tour was a lot of fun, and I can't wait to bring my whole family here. Now, the next spot on this list is Smith's Beach. Phillip Island is home to some of the best surfing conditions in Australia, and thousands of surfers visit the island each year to check out the powerful reef breaks. But the island is also one of the best places to learn how to surf, and that's exactly what I'm going to be doing. Smith's Beach stretches 1 kilometre across the south coast of Phillip Island and is home to quality waves for beginners and advanced surfers. Island surfboards are located right next to the beach and are one of the best surfing schools in the country. The store has plenty of beach clothing and surfboards if you want to rent one, but I decided to book a 1-hour private lesson with an instructor, which was a lot of fun. After picking out my surfboard and chucking on a wetsuit, we made our way over to the beach where we ran through the basics of surfing. Even though I've only been surfing a handful of times, my instructor Phoebe was super knowledgeable and patient and literally helped me out so much. Within 20 minutes of being out in the water, I was able to ride my first wave, and it was honestly the best feeling ever. If you have never been surfing before or are thinking about giving it a go, be sure to check out Island Surfboards at Smith's Beach. After riding the waves at Smith's Beach, we're going to do some sightseeing at Pyramid Rock. Pyramid Rock is located on the south coast of Phillip Island and has some of the most breathtaking ocean views on the island. After leaving my car at the car park, I took the short stroll across the boardwalk and took in the sweeping views of the island's rugged coastline. The walk to the lookout took me about 10 minutes, and I was blown away by the pyramid-shaped rock which was formed by lava flow millions of years ago. If you are visiting the island in the winter months, this lookout is a great place to spot humpback whales as they migrate to the warmer waters off Queensland. After Pyramid Rock, we are going to stop by the main township on Phillip Island, Cowes. Located on the northern side of the island and about 90 minutes from Melbourne, Cowes is a popular seaside resort and road trip destination. The town actually sits right next to the beach, so it's a great spot to stay with a family, and there are plenty of amazing shopping and dining options in town. After spending some time relaxing by Cowes Beach, I treated myself to an ice cream at Asola Gelato and a sensational coffee at G'day Tiger. Another really great restaurant to visit for dinner is Pino's Trattoria, which serves authentic Italian food including pizza, pasta and cocktails. So be sure to stop by Cowes on your Phillip Island road trip. After, we're going to visit one of my favourite places on Phillip Island, the Nobbies. I was driving up the coast and I was looking for a nice spot to watch the sunset, and I randomly came across this spot. This stunning headland is located on the southwestern tip of Phillip Island and has some of the best coastal views in all of Victoria. I pulled over and went for a short walk on the boardwalk, and I was blown away at the beauty of this spot. There were just so many seabirds resting by the rocks, and it felt surreal to watch the giant waves crashing below. Whilst you're here, I recommend checking out the Antarctic Journey exhibition at the Visitor Centre to learn all about the Southern Ocean. This exhibition is really cool and actually taught me a lot about Antarctica and some of the unique marine life living on the bottom of the world. After, we are going to venture to the other side of the island to Cape Woolamai. The Cape Woolamai Circuit is an 8.3 kilometre hiking trail on the eastern corner of the island and is known for its incredible coastal views and unique rock formations. After parking my car at the Cape Woolamai Surf Beach, I started the walk along the beach before climbing this staircase to the bluff. After about 50 minutes walking, I came across these impressive sea stacks called the Pinnacles, which rise out of the surf. These giant orange boulders are unlike anything I've ever seen in Australia, and they make for some epic photos, so be sure to bring your camera. After another 20 minutes walking, I soon reached the Cape Woolamai beacon, where I spotted these two gorgeous wallabies sitting on the edge of a cliff. The walk in total took me about 4 hours to complete, and the ocean views along the way had me speechless. The Park Lane Holiday Park is located right at the heart of Phillip Island and sits directly next to Amazing Things theme park, so it's awesome for families. We stayed in one of their deluxe safari tents, which costed around $297 per night and came with a queen bed and 2 bunk beds. This tent was honestly the perfect base for our trip, as it was close to all the attractions and my nephew had so much fun exploring the playground on site. So yeah, make sure to book this place on your trip to Phillip Island. The last spot in this video is of course the Phillip Island Penguin Parade. Located 90 minutes south of Melbourne on the western side of the island, the Phillip Island Penguin Parade is one of the largest little penguin colonies in the world. Every night, just after sunset, thousands of little penguins dash home from the ocean whilst greeting neighbours, partners and their chicks. Me and my brother purchased tickets for the family wildlife tour so that my nephew could learn all about the wildlife of Phillip Island and we could escape all the tourist crowds. This special tour costed $80 per adult and $40 for children, and it was definitely worth it. Before the tour, we stopped at the visitor centre for a nice dinner before hitting the boardwalk to spot some wildlife. Soon we reached the Penguin Parade platform, where we watched the sunset and waited patiently for the penguins to appear. At around 20 minutes after sunset, we spotted the first penguin coming out of the waves, and soon we were surrounded by hundreds of penguins on the shore. I have so many memories of visiting the Penguin Parade over the years, and it was so amazing to be able to take my nephew and watch his reaction at seeing penguins for the first time. Even if you're only visiting Melbourne for a week, I highly recommend you add the Phillip Island Penguin Parade to your list. Alright, so that is it for my Phillip Island top 10. After looking at all this footage, I already want to go back and make a part 2. Let me know where your favourite places on Phillip Island are. You can find me on Instagram and TikTok at NathSway. It's Nathan, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.